The previous lesson dealt with clearer red lines, no credential attacks, impersonation, or access control bypass. This lesson is closer to everyday project work. The page genuinely opens, yet you are still unsure whether to download the entire site, retain it permanently, build profiles, or publish the result. That is the gray area. Gray does not mean unregulated. The same page creates very different risk when it supports 3 verification checks rather than a permanent searchable database. We will not force every case into an instant yes or no. We will identify the uncertain parts, narrow the activity to what the question needs, and document limits and approvals.
A public recruitment directory can create several kinds of risk at once. Terms may restrict automation. Heavy requests may affect the service. Contact fields involve personal data. Reorganizing thousands of pages into one searchable database increases practical exposure. Cross-border storage or commercial redistribution changes the analysis again. Manually comparing 3 vacancies with an official company site is not equivalent to collecting every vacancy in the country and profiling each contact. Both start with public pages, their scale and consequences are not the same. Record access method, volume, fields, storage, reconstruction, and distribution separately. Public source is not enough.
No bypass tells us something about entry. It does not decide how the material may be copied, combined, retained, or published. Suppose an employee name appears on several event pages. A casual reader will not easily see the full history. Collect 10 years of pages and index them by name, role, place, and date, and scattered information becomes a permanent searchable record. The source facts are unchanged. The practical effect is not. Keep access basis and intended use as separate fields in the project record. One sentence saying, "available online," cannot justify every later action.
When the answer is uncertain, narrow the task before debating a maximal plan. Reduce the fields. Reduce subjects, geography, and time. Lower the collection frequency. Set a review and deletion date before the data arrives. To verify whether a recruitment account repeatedly misuses a company name, we may need the account, role title, publication date, company domain, and official comparison. Applicant photographs, personal histories, and complete contact details do not improve that judgment. Authorized raw evidence can remain in restricted storage while working tables and public products carry fewer fields. Preserving evidence is not the same as spreading all available information.
The same dataset can require a different decision when the context changes. A class may use a small de-identified sample. An internal risk team may view controlled originals. Public reporting must consider response and unrelated people. A commercial product introduces continuous collection, client access, and redistribution. In the recruitment case, full screenshots may remain in the authorized evidence store, while a public video omits unrelated applicant names. A future public search service would need a new review of correction, retention, access, and harm. An earlier collection decision is not permanent permission for every future use.
Public information can still cause serious harm. A company switchboard and a private mobile number should not be treated alike. Home location, health information, children's data, and biometrics need stronger controls. Several ordinary fields can also combine to reveal a workplace or routine. Ask one practical question: what is the worst plausible outcome if this table reaches the wrong person? Harassment, fraud, discrimination, identity theft, or physical contact call for stronger handling. Accuracy belongs in the same discussion. Stale jobs, namesakes, and reassigned numbers can place the burden on someone unrelated to the case.
A box marked compliant explains almost nothing in a gray area. Write the reason. For example, to determine whether the account misuses a company identity, collect only role title, publication date, and domain for the last 3 months. Delete contact values after verification. Limit the result to the internal risk team. That note states the question, fields, period, handling, and audience. It does not replace authorization or legal basis, but it gives reviewers something concrete to challenge and update.
Use 5 dimensions: purpose, scale, sensitivity, distribution, and reversibility. Risk rises as use moves away from the original question. Volume grows, fields become more sensitive, distribution becomes more public, and withdrawal becomes harder. An internal review of 5 recruitment posts is limited, focused, and correctable. A public search tool containing 100,000 applicant records raises every dimension. The matrix is not a legal answer machine. It turns "this feels questionable" into specific reasons and sends higher-risk actions to the right review. The recruitment directory opens without a login. The original plan is to download everything because it may be useful later. Return to the requirement. Determine whether 3 suspicious accounts reuse the same company identity. Scope now becomes 3 accounts, 90 days, and 5 necessary fields: role title, publication date, domain, official comparison, and source link. Contact details support immediate verification only and do not enter the long-term table. The narrower plan still answers the question and reduces personal data and service term risk. Professional collection is sufficient collection, not maximum collection.
It may be useful later, has no current question, no defined user, and no deletion date. Almost any field can then be described as potentially valuable. Years pass, the data becomes stale, nobody remembers why it remains, and raw personal values keep entering new products. Assign purpose, fields, scope, owner, and review date to every dataset. A new purpose requires a new decision. Remove or irreversibly de-identify data that no longer serves the requirement, and retain a disposal record.
Move the decision beyond the individual analyst when the source may be leaked, internal, or unknown, when sensitive personal data appears at scale, when children are involved, or when the plan includes continuous cross-border processing, commercial redistribution, public naming, or an irreversible release. Time pressure is not a reason to copy the whole dataset. Preserve only the minimum locator and provenance needed to describe the opportunity, then pause. Frame the escalation with fields, volume, purpose, recipients, storage, and retention. A qualified reviewer can decide on a defined action.
Start with a broad plan. Download the entire public recruitment directory and rewrite it as a testable question, such as whether 2 accounts reuse the same company domain during the previous 90 days. Remove unnecessary fields, limit subjects and time, restrict distribution, and set retention and review dates. A usable final note might say, collect only role title, date, domain, and source link for entries directly connected to the 2 accounts. Do not retain personal contacts. Store raw captures under restricted access and review after 30 days. Lesson 30 compares journalists and intelligence analysts. The evidence may be the same, but audience, product, and professional responsibility change the handling.